Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing well. Today I am back with a new horror story for you all. You all might have heard the name of Ed and Lorraine Warren, and those who don't know who they are, let me tell you, they are the paranormal researchers who have already researched on hundreds of cases throughout their career. In today's video, I'm going to tell you the story which was solved by the same Warren couple, on the basis of which later on a movie was created, and the name of the movie was The Connecticut Haunting, and also the book was written and the name of the book was In the Dark Place. Actually, we have selected this story because in this story there are various unsolved mysteries. We will try to uncover all the mysteries in this video. We'll be talking about the controversies related to this story in the end. So watch the video till the end, and if you love such videos, like this video, share this with your friends, and subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon beside to never miss any update from Mysterious Hub. And don't forget to comment down your feedbacks. Now, without doing any further delays, let's start the video. In June 30, 1986, Snedeker's family shifted newly rented house, which was in 208 Marinton Avenue, City, USA. They were really very excited for their new home because they have got this deal in very cheap rate. There were 7 members in their home: Carmen Snedekers, Elise Snedekers, their 3 kids, and one niece whose name was Kelly. Their elder son was suffering from cancer and they had to go to the hospital very frequently, and the hospital was very far from their previous home. That is why they had rented this house. But while renting the house, they didn't check any history of the house, which was really very important. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the son who was suffering from cancer, his name was Philip. At the very beginning, when they shifted in that home, they felt something unusual and they were having a negative vibe from that home, but they didn't focus on those things because they were excited for the new house. That is why they thought that the house was closed for so many years. That is why we might be getting such negative vibes from the home. Everything will be alright if we clean up the home and arrange everything. The house had a basement. Once Carmen was cleaning the basement and he saw many farming and gardening tools over there. They weren't in the normal quantity, because of which Carmen got shocked because he didn't know what is the use of it in a house, because the quantity was in a bulk. But Carmen ignored those things and continued to work in his own work, because like I said you previously, they didn't know the past of the house, because the house used to be a funeral house and the name of the funeral house was Halahal Funeral Hall, but the old owner didn't said anything about the past of the house. In the beginning days when they shifted in this house, their children said them that in this house there are several unusual things, we can feel it, but they didn't listen to them because they thought that they are new here and they might take some time to adjust with the environment. That is why they ignored their children. After a few days, they arranged their home and they made everything organized. While distributing the room, Philip, the son who was suffering from cancer, got the room which was in the basement. After that, he used to live in his own room which was in the basement. Suddenly, after shifting into the basement, he changed his behavior and he was doing something that he never did with his parents and any other kids, because he was really silent and innocent boy. But after a few days, he shifted in the basement. He became very violent. He used to speak unusual things and rough words to his parents, and he started speaking in the dream. But all these things are just the beginning of the story. Carmen and Elise didn't think much about that because these things often happen when you take lots of medicine because of its side effects. So they thought all his behavioral changes because of the side effect of the medicine. So they didn't take it so seriously. But he was getting worse day by day. After that, they got worried, and one day Elise and Carmen went to the hospital to meet their doctor, and they asked the doctor, is it the side effect of your medicine or something else? But the doctor denied and said the medicine we are using don't have any side effects, which really shocked his parents. They became more worried and tensed because they didn't know what is wrong now. In the same night, Kelly, who was the niece of Carmen, rushed to her aunt's room. She knocked the door and was really very scared. Her aunt asked her what's wrong. After that, she said, Philip is again dreaming and murmuring so loud. The voice was so loud that it could be heard from the first floor very clearly. After that, Carmen got everything and went to the basement with his Bible and some holy waters. But Philip was still murmuring in his dream. His head was turned upside and it seemed like he was trying to press someone's throat. Both of his hands was in air. His eyes was completely void, which made everyone shocked and fearful. After that day, Kelly starts to experience so many unusual things with her, like she used to feel like someone is present and staring at her when no one is present around her. She used to feel like some demonic energy around her. She also said that she had also sexually abused by that demon. This incident made the case highlighted and worldwide famous. Once Kerman and his second son was sitting and Kerman asked him that, "Have you experienced some unusual thing in this house?" The son answered, "Yes, I have seen some unusual thing in our house. They comes in different shape and I actually don't know who they are, but we are not alone in this home. Not only that, sometimes the entity looks like their own family members." He said this because one night while he was sleeping in his bedroom, his lights start to flicker. Someone was turning the lights on and off very frequently while he was sleeping on his bed. He thought Kelly was doing all these things and he said, "Kelly, is that you? Please stop doing that." Though the light didn't stop to flicker. Once again he said, "Stop doing that." After that, the light became normal and somebody switched the light off. Next day, while they were having a breakfast, he asked to Kelly that, "What were you doing in my room last night and why were you turning the lights on and off very frequently?" But Kelly said, "I was sleeping last night and I didn't go to your room and I slept very early." And actually Kelly didn't do anything that night, but he was very shocked and he was thinking because he saw Kelly doing all that things, but it wasn't Kelly. After some days, they started smelling something very weird in their house, like some rotten meat. They searched for here and there, but they could find nothing. They could not understand what is wrong. One day, Kelly was trying to clean home with a bucket of water and some soap, but while cleaning, she noticed that the water and the soap inside the bucket is turning red. She saw the water turning into blood. She was completely scared and loudly screamed and called all the family members and showed them the bucket. They were already very worried because of the unusual activities happening in the home and with their son. Now they became more scared. In the another side, Philip's health condition and behavioral condition was degrading day by day, and Philip was no longer the Philip he was before because he was completely possessed by a very powerful demon. Philip used to say rough words to his family. Not only that, once he tried to sexually assault his own aunt's daughter, Danny. He also tries to bite everyone who come under his radius. Like we can say, he had become completely insane. The family was completely helpless. They didn't know what will be the next and whom to contact with. That is why they researched everywhere and they find the name of Ed and Lauren. When Ed and Lauren heard their story, they instantly visited their home because the condition was really very critical in their home. When Ed and Lauren came to investigate their home, they felt very negative energies inside their home. Some of their team members left the investigation in the middle, but Ed and Lauren didn't give up because they were only the hope of Snedeker's family. While investigating, Lauren felt too much negative energy in the Phillips room, which was in the basement. According to Lauren, the basement was the same place where the people used to be buried. After that, Lauren asked to Kelly, "Do you feel something?" Then Kelly explained everything to Lauren. Lauren asked Kelly about that because Lauren could see someone around Kelly. Lauren saw this while Kelly was sleeping in her room at night time. After such incidents, Snedeker's family left their home and stayed in the hotel for some days. After few days, Lauren and Ed cleaned up their house and made them pure and clean to live. And when the Snedeker's family shifted from their home, they realized they were feeling much better in the hotel. There were several problems in their house, like they were having several physical problems and the conflicts in the house, which gradually decreased when they left their house. The peace of the family came back into their life. Now let's talk about the controversies related with this story. Since I have already said you that this story has a lot of controversies, let's talk one by one. The first controversy was the people living in that home after the incidences didn't experience any of the paranormal activities with them, and also their neighbors never complained about such paranormal activities, and they used to say, we have seen nothing paranormal and we have experienced nothing paranormal in this house. In the beginning of this story, like I had said you that there is a book naming In the Dark Place, which was inspired from the same story. The writer of this book, Ray Garton, said that all this story he heard from the different team members of Ed and Lauren were completely different from one another. Not only the incidences, but also the process of the exorcism was different from person to person, which made him completely shocked and confused about these incidents happenings. On 27th April 1999, Ray Garton met with Ed and Lauren and he asked what's wrong with this story and what is the problem and why everyone is telling me new story every time, why this story is different from person to person. After that, Ed and Lauren stated that the family in which we are currently researching were completely insane, and not only this family but also all the peoples who come to us for the investigations are completely insane. None of our clients are a sane person, and said the writer to take clues from their story and requested him to make a really very horrifying story in his own, which made the writer more confused about this story. Then some of the reporters also reported that this story was completely different and they made this story by their own. The Snedeker's family and Ed Lauren was trying to do a publicity stunt to gain more fame. At the end of this story, Philip became well, and after few years he became a truck driver with 4 kids, and in 9 January 2012 Philip died from the cancer. It was the second time when he was suffering from the same disease, and this time he left the world. Now you tell me, what do you think about this story? Was this story a real one or made for a publicity stunt? What do you think? Comment down below. If you love the video, then please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon beside to never miss any update from Mysterious Hub. Thank you so much for staying till the end of the video.